All right, Players Only Podcast live, 4:20 today. Also, the day in most of the world, the Bitcoin halving.
Yep.
Technically, our time it was late last night.
Yep.
But yeah, most of the world today. Yeah. Otherwise, we haven't seen you in a few months.
Yep.
Yeah. What's new?
Work. work. Big boy job, crazy schedule.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Working almost 7 days a week at points in time, which was awesome.
Yeah.
But now, got a little bit easier to schedule now.
Perfect.
A little bit more of a set schedule, which is nice. So hopefully we're back in the swing of things.
Yeah. Otherwise, well, I got the Timberwolves shirt on. We can talk about the NBA Finals.
Yeah, let's do it.
Who do you got winning it all?
Probably Denver.
Okay, you got Denver. Beating like the Celtics in the East, or
Probably. Yeah.
Okay, I got Clippers over Celtics.
Oh, yeah. Clippers won't make it out of the first round. But.
It'll be a tough first round. History would say it'll be a tough first round for the Clippers.
Uh-huh.
The Mavs always play them tough.
Yep.
History would say the Mavs probably win the first two and then the Clippers come back. But
It's all about momentum.
Yeah. Clippers just got to stay healthy this year, and they got it. They beat the Mavs. They'll whoop OKC. They're young. And then, then Denver, that'll be a showdown, and then the Celtics.
Yeah,
We'll
because
figure it out.
Denver's got the easiest first round out of anybody.
No, OKC, or at least talking about the West, because they're playing the Pelicans without Zion.
But the Pelicans won last night. What's up, buddy?
Hey, sorry, Mr. Call. I was taking a shower.
It's okay. We didn't mean to call you. Vince and I were talking shit about you, and apparently my watch was listening and it's called you.
Amazing. Just wanted to get in on the fun.
Yeah, my phone was just chilling out on the thing we were talking. All of a sudden, Vince was like, "Hey, your phone's calling Jackson."
Lovely.
Yeah. No.
By the way, Vince, I assume you can hear, or can you hear me?
Yeah, you're on speaker.
Okay. I got your Christmas gift finally. They finally fucking sent it to me.
Oh, sweet.
I gotta wait to find out what Kroger is going to pay me because of my injury, if I get a full paycheck or not, and that will dictate if I send it.
Okay.
But yeah, if I get a full paycheck, then I'll send it to you.
Sounds good.
The weed probably kicked in, and that's why you thought about it. 420 day.
Yeah.
Amazing.
There, buddy.
Yeah. Happy 420.
Yeah. Happy 420. Bye, guys.
Later.
So let me just say, this has already been the best month of my life in a long time, and now I'm getting a present. What's next,
right?
And we'll go through it, I guess, on the podcast today. Another big thing. We take fantasy basketball pretty serious. Well, I do. I won a fantasy basketball league to start the month.
I was more along for the ride, but it was the easiest fantasy of the year by a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
People we played with were terrible this year. And, yeah. I had to find competition in Kobe. Shout outs to Kobe.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
This is more for the fall. Is James Harden going to gain another 100 pounds before next season again?
They win a championship, yeah. He'll probably do a little partying. He's got a big yacht. Millions and millions, yeah. That's a little fun if they win, I think.
Yeah. If they lose first round, think he'll still be throwing his temper tantrums, or?
I don't know. It could be bad for God only knows if they lose the first round. They can't. They just can't. And then, I mean, I'll just say, talking about the NBA finals, over in the playoffs over in the East, there's nothing to really talk about
No.
there. The Celtics, I got them winning. I'll just tell you guys.
Yeah.
Bucks are without Giannis for a few weeks, it sounds like. Knicks are down Julius Randle, and then Jimmy Butler for a little bit with the Heat.
Yeah, he's out like
So-
4 to 6 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
With
So
the MCO.
the Celtics should have no issue with Miami.
Yeah.
History would say, right, that'll be a tough series, but I don't know without Butler how they're gonna.
Right. And if you remember, beginning of the season, I had the Heat making it to the end. But yeah,
Oh,
without
did
Butler. Without Butler, I don't.
I remember that bet where I got 4 teams and you got the rest of the NBA.
Yeah.
And now one of them, yeah, the Bucks without Giannis, yeah, whatever injuries, but I like the other 3 still. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's still there.
yeah.
We should pull that up because I think it's pinned somewhere too.
I pinned it.
We should pull it up, and so yeah.
You know, when it's those 4 in the final 4, I'll take a photo and send a little reply to that one
Yeah.
to remind you.
Well, it'll be 3 no matter what, because you chose Heat too, right?
I got the Celtics, Bucks in the East, and then Denver and the Clippers in the West. Those are my
Okay.
4.
Yep. So you'll be down the Clippers for sure. So, man, if the Wolves make it to the Final Four, you're so screwed.
Yeah. Well, I guess if I'm wrong and the Wolves win it all,
Right.
I guess I can live.
Right. What do you think? As we, even though you've left me high and dry on the Viking side of things, but for Minnesota sports wise, Wolves, what do you think the percentage that they make it just even to the Final Four?
So they got to beat the Suns, and then they got to beat the winner of Denver and the Lakers, probably Denver.
Yep. And they do play Denver good, right?
Yeah.
Because no matter what, the Lakers are going to lose against Denver, and it's going to happen.
I'll give them 25%.
That's fair.
1 in 4. Kind of.
Yeah, it's fair.
Or you said make it to the Western Conference Finals or the NBA Finals?
Let's do just the Western Conference Finals.
Okay, yeah, 25%.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because I mean they have yet to beat the Suns, right, all year. So yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and that's scary.
Right.
But regular season isn't always playoffs, and guys play more minutes.
Yep.
And that's the thing too. KD will play almost every minute, every game.
Yep.
So that'll be scary. I guess we can talk about the NFL a little bit. Draft next week.
Absolutely.
I got plans to stream day 2, the second and third round. I really want to see where the running backs end up. My personal favorite is Braylon Allen.
Yep.
That's the guy I want super bad in fantasy. Right now, I see a lot of rankings where they got him like 3rd, 4th, 5th. They're not even in the top 5 for running backs, which is a little sketchy to me.
Yep.
We'll see, though, what happens.
Yeah, I know through all the draft talk and stuff, obviously everybody's talking quarterbacks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The top 4 or 5 quarterbacks up there. I have heard almost 0 talks as far as running backs for the entire draft.
Because there isn't that big
Right.
one going in the first round this year. I'll be on record and say it too. If the Vikings draft J.J. McCarthy, I'll be really pissed. I see a career, just lifelong backup quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. I do not see some kind of Pro Bowl starter. So you're shaking your head. I guess if there's a clip of me going around in February of next year, and he makes a Pro Bowl, I'll. What are you doing?
Go ahead, keep talking.
Yeah, so I guess if that happens, oh well, I can live with that. Personally, I like the top 3 quarterbacks all a lot, whether we're talking for fantasy or if my Vikings actually get them. Caleb, Drake May, or Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
For a little bit of a hot take, for fantasy, I actually prefer Drake May a little over Caleb Williams because of rushing. Because I think he's going to get more rushing yards and touchdowns and all that.
If you want a hot take, because, all right, like, realistically speaking, right, because everybody will talk for months and months about the draft and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
And typically, maybe 1 out of 5 quarterbacks actually stays in the NFL or is actually good, right?
History would say about 40% of first-round quarterbacks. Yeah.
Caleb Williams is a bust. I'm calling it right now. He's not gonna. He's not gonna be able to make it.
Okay. Well, yeah. You blew me out with the hot take there. Holy cow.
He's not gonna make it. The Bears are gonna waste him. I feel like Justin Fields is a better quarterback than Caleb Williams. Justin Fields was wasted in with the Bears, and he just got hurt too many times or whatever with how badly the Bears organization is run. Caleb Williams will show that he is a bust.
Just so people know here, Austin is not from Chicago, so this isn't biased.
No, absolutely not.
That's the crazy part.
I've been feeling the same way ever since they were calling Caleb Williams was going to be the number 1 pick over a year ago, because he had such a hot season the year prior. Yeah. He had an awful year last year. Awful year. It was not good.
Yeah, and the ending didn't like blow people away.
No.
Where, like, Bo Nix and then the college playoffs, whatever division he was in or conference or whatever, ended on a good note. Michael Penix ended on a good note.
Yep. I think if Michael Penix can get over his injury, he'll be a better quarterback in the NFL than Caleb Williams by a lot. By a lot. I think
we're live right now.
Absolutely. No, it relies on that injury, right? Because it was a pretty bad injury for Michael Penix, right? So it just depends on if that injury can be subsided a little bit. Now, as a Vikings fan, yeah, sure, I'm hoping for them to get up to like 4-ish or whatever. But if they can't because there's no movement or they're not able to move. If they have to stay at 11-23 and they get Michael Penix or Bo Nix, I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to throw a fit like everybody else is going to. I'm completely fine with one of those. Because then you still get that extra first rounder. Because you'll have to take one of them at 11. You can't wait till 23 like everybody else would want them to.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take them at 11 because everybody else needs quarterbacks too.
Yeah.
You have to take the one that you like the best. I'm completely fine with one of them. I think they're going to be better than Caleb, especially Penix, if he can get over that injury.
And we'll see. But I mean, the Vikings take Bo Nix at 11. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
People, they got him going to Denver and like trade talks. Just because I guess they're comparing him to Drew Brees, which I feel like he's a bigger guy than Drew. And then Drew Brees, Sean Payton.
Yeah.
So that's kind of whatever to me. We'll see.
The thing is that Denver has like nothing to give, right? All of their firsts are tied up everywhere else.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. They have nothing to give. The Vikings, out of every team in the top 15 or whatever, have the best package for a rookie quarterback. By a lot.
Of the teams that are about to take a quarterback,
Yeah, of the teams that need a quarterback. Yeah. You got JJ. Yeah, TJ's going to be out for about a month, with his real bad injury. You got Jordan Addison. You got a rebuilding O-line, which
Good
will
coach.
only get better. Coach that has been there for a few years now. A solid defense. Sure, he lost a couple key pieces, but we got good key pieces back.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at I think a sneaky year for the Vikings if TJ can come back healthy. I'll say that. If TJ can't come back healthy, might struggle a little bit, but we'll see. And it obviously depends on the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So
when we're doing our fantasy drafts, I should not see you taking Caleb Williams.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Will not take him.
Even startup leagues.
Nope.
Okay. All right.
Nope.
I'll remember that.
Yeah, I was right on Will Levis so far. Will Levis is so far a bust. Tennessee already hates him. Tennessee already hates him. Tennessee fans hate him, especially.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. Okay. But
Let's just give it another year.
some of them still wish that Vikings kept Case Keenum instead of taking Kirk Cousins. So, you know.
And there's Vikings. Well, yeah, see? So the fans aren't always right.
Exactly. But
so not liking them
Will Levis
probably
is
isn't a good
bust.
thing.
Will Levis is a bust. No accuracy.
Doubling down. All right.
Bust. Worse of a bust than Baker Mayfield,
Yeah.
who made a surprising comeback.
Yep. Otherwise, with the draft, I expect to see a lot of trades again this year.
Yep.
We're hoping to get lucky with some tickets.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'll definitely turn into content if we're at US Bank. Otherwise, anything other sports related? Any other takes that we can get out of you?
Well, so here's what I was thinking. Instead of going like a mock draft order, right? Like Caleb won, whatever,
Yeah.
like everybody else is gonna do. Just as a quick what position the team should take.
Yeah.
Right. So let me get this pulled up here, and then just your quick what that team should take in the first round. Right. So Bears,
Quarterback.
Washington,
Now quarterback too.
yeah.
And
Patriots,
quarterback.
Cardinals,
Receiver.
Chargers.
Can I just say someone on defense?
Wide receiver. They lost both.
Hey, they got Quinn Johnson.
They lost both of their wide receivers.
Yeah, because they're old.
Yeah.
They didn't win with them.
And Quentin Johnson can't catch passes apparently.
Yeah, we'll see.
Giants. Probably a receiver, right?
Yeah, and a lot of people got Malik going there. They got so many holes though. Like,
Yeah. They need a new quarterback, but they're stuck in that Daniel Jones contract.
yeah, and like
They need another running
outside
back.
of one defense end, well, maybe defense end and defensive tackle they're all right, but the rest of defense, whatever.
Right.
So any position.
Tennessee receiver.
Well, they signed Calvin Ridley, and I was right about him, by the way. Last offseason, when I was saying people were getting too hyped about him, that was the take I freaking aced, and he wasn't that great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess could be receiver just for the future because they are older, him and D-Hop.
Yeah. Falcons.
Oh, I want him to get a defense end.
Then Bears again.
No, I'll just say hold on.
The Jets.
Something on defense. Defense end would be pretty.
Vikings.
Quarterback.
Broncos.
Quarterback.
Raiders. Everything.
It could almost be you're right, quarterback again. I don't know. Do you believe in Aiden O'Connell after he couldn't even score on our defense for a whole game?
Absolutely not. Saints. Everything.
Yeah, defense.
Colts. Probably maybe defense because their defense wasn't good.
Yeah, and they got rid of that one linebacker that was there forever, Shaq, whatever.
Yeah. Seattle. They need a lot.
Yeah, like the receivers there, but
they need a quarterback eventually here.
Yeah. And just with a new coach there, right? They probably are thinking quarterback.
Probably. So they probably get one of those later quarterbacks if they're not planning to move up all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be insane.
Yeah.
Jaguars.
Ooh, they kind of need a receiver. They only got Gabe Davis,
They do actually.
or they signed from Buffalo, but I don't know how.
Their defense.
Or
is okay.
they got that guy from Arizona that kind of broke out for him. A couple seasons ago, he came from Arizona.
Bengals.
Defense, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. LA. Rams.
I like the offense. Maybe tight end,
Yeah.
because
Is there any good O-line in this draft?
some tackles.
Most of them
Joel.
go early, sure, but
Yeah,
they probably need some O-line.
yeah,
Steelers, they need everything.
yeah.
That team is a disaster.
Yeah, or defense, all right. So, receiver.
Oh, yeah, they did lose their man.
Yeah.
Dolphins.
Defense, kind of because that Bradley Chubb was disappointing, and offense they can't put any more resources over there. They got to be solid this year.
Right. All right, final 10, fast as you can. Eagles. Just eat defense or offense.
Defense,
Vikings. Defense.
either one.
Cowboys.
Defense.
Green Bay.
Dak, defense.
Bucks.
Defense.
Cards.
Defense.
Bills. Offense.
Receiver, yes.
Lions.
Defense.
Ravens.
Maybe offense.
Niners. Oh, yeah.
Defense.
And then Chiefs.
Receiver.
Yeah, they need a receiver really bad.
Yeah. It's crazy they won last year, honestly.
Yeah.
Down receiver.
Right. So speaking of kind of like trying to wrap up sports here, let's kind of talk about your new favorite team, the Falcons.
All right.
All right.
Do you want to give your prediction first, or should I?
Let's talk about this first, because there was some tampering, right? So
Yeah.
no matter what anybody wants to say or believe, there's always tampering.
Yeah.
Right. The problem is Kirk Cousins basically
Admitted
to it to
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
The biggest mistake he's made in years.
Yeah.
Do they lose their first rounder?
Well, since we're so close, I don't think they're going to, but I think they should. Just because the letter of the law is just
Right.
they did it to Miami, and I felt like the Miami stuff was a little bit more in the gray area with like Tom Brady and
Yep.
Sean Payton, where this is a lot more
Full on
admitted
admitted to it.
and
Yeah.
just again we just saw Miami do it a year ago
Right.
or 2 years ago or whatever. So yeah, I'm surprised it's not already done. I don't know
Right.
how much looking you got to do.
Yeah. And then all right, so let's look at the Falcons team right now, right? Because
Yeah.
you were higher, even though I kept telling you Desmond Ritter is not gonna be
Yeah.
the answer. You were like, just wait and watch, He sucked. He was so bad. Now we're looking at it. They have a new coach who's never called a play in the NFL. Yeah, Kirk Cousins, who I'm a believer.
Yeah.
We have a tight end that can't catch a fucking throw.
Well, he'll get more targets this year.
We have a running back that apparently throws temper tantrums and pretends he has a headache so he can be out of the game.
That's because Arthur Smith's a dumbass. I blame him on that. Yeah.
So where are we thinking the Falcons are going to be this year?
I got him in the NFC Championship
Absolutely
game.
not. You're fucking smoking crack on 420.
So, what? You don't have them winning the division? You have them 8-9,
I have them winning 7 games.
7-10. Oh,
Maybe 8
I
games.
thought you believed in Kirk. You believe he's going to get hurt?
I believe in Kirk. I believe he has no weapons. And yeah, probably hurt too. I mean, coming off an ACL at his age is hard, right? So he's not a mobile quarterback, right? He tries to be, but he's not. He has a tight end. He loves his tight ends. Tight end can't catch. The tight end can't even block.
Dude, he literally caught a pass like behind himself last year.
He's so bad. He's so bad.
I showed you on TikTok the pass I'm talking about.
He had a good half of a season his rookie year, and then he was ass. He's been ass ever since.
He was only, like his rookie year was only like the second most tight end yards ever by a rookie tight end.
I gave it to you.
Since Ditka in the 60s.
I gave it to you. He had a good half of his rookie year, and then ass.
Yeah, and how's the quarterback been since his rookie year? Since Matt Ryan? Ass. Exactly. It's not ass anymore.
But
it'll be the best quarterback he's had ever.
How many
college, high school?
How many drop balls did he have last year? Because there was a couple. Even though I said Desmond Ridder was ass, there was a couple that went right to Pitt's hands and just hit. You can't spear him anymore, and he still doesn't catch passes. He's so bad. Bijan, okay, yeah, is he good? Sure. There's got to be some reason that he wasn't getting the ball almost every snap.
Well, right? That's because the coach is an idiot.
Well, yeah, he's an idiot. That's why he was fired. But there's got to be a reason, because if we're going to win games, why was Tyler Algier getting the ball on the goal line almost every single time?
Because the coach.
Well, but
I get it's kind of like the modern NFL, almost like the NBA. Like they're trying to give every star player less minutes, less plays, which is dumb. But I guess because we play 17 games now, you gotta, I guess, play your stars less.
Right.
That's kind of the trend, but I don't love it.
Yeah, I don't love it either. But we are seeing an increase in injuries. Like towards the end of the year, like Vikings football, for example, unwatchable. Couldn't even watch it, right? The last couple of games. Because injuries were
quarterback
so bad.
situation.
And quarterback situation, too. But even when JJ was out and then we didn't have a quarterback, it was so unwatchable.
Yeah.
And whatnot. Wouldn't even tune in besides that last game because I had fantasy running on it.
Yeah.
But when injuries happen, it's just unwatchable. But Falcons, though, man. I don't know what you see in your new favorite team, but there's no way.
Again, I'm pretty sure they won 8 games last year. So now they got Kirk, and you got them doing worse.
Because they don't have weapons. I'm standing by the weapons. The weapons are not good enough.
This one podcast, you're going to get clipped so bad next year. I know it's only April, but I'm not going to forget.
That's fine. They won't make playoffs. Won't make the playoffs.
Won't make the playoffs in the NFC.
Yep.
And like the weakest division in the whole league. Okay.
I can't help their team currently is almost as bad as the Patriots. Patriots are the worst team in football.
No.
Patriots are the worst team in football.
Or they're up there, but the Falcons aren't in that. Not in that tier.
They're close.
No.
They're close.
No.
Very close. If you think, do you think a team is worse than the Patriots?
Only one you could argue, maybe like the Commanders.
Yeah, but they got all the.
I look at it in tiers. Like Commanders are down there, Carolina. Any given day, one could beat the other. I feel like.
Sure. I don't think there's a worse team than the Patriots. Yeah, I can't. Because they have so many holes. Even that one pick that they got, it's not going to do shit. And even though they got to take a quarterback, I think them taking a quarterback instead of trading out for more picks is stupid. Because they're not going to be competitive. And they're just going to throw somebody like Mac Jones to the Wolves and screw them over in the long run.
I mean, if they don't love their prospect, then get out of the third. But
right. Yeah. There was something else I was gonna bring up, and I completely slipped my mind as we were arguing about the Falcons.
How do you got the Vikings doing this year? What spot in the division? What record? I got them like 7 wins. Like
the about Falcons. 9, but they have a tough schedule this year. I know that.
Yeah.
So even though I'm hopeful at the 9, I'm sure it might be a little bit less. I mean, you're throwing a rookie quarterback into it.
Yep.
And into the Wolves with a really tough schedule. Even if you have Sam Bradford starting a couple games, I mean, that's not going to go well. And then injuries obviously will lead to something. TJ being out the first couple weeks, that's going to hurt. So yeah, I think it'll be a little bit at first, but we'll see. We'll see. Hopeful, obviously. Hopeful. I would hope for I'm hoping for JJ personally in the draft. I know you hate him, but
oh my God. See, you're hoping for it because you know I'll get pissed.
that, and I think he's probably one of the better quarterbacks in the draft. But I mean, they're not gonna get Caleb.
No.
JJ, I think, is the one that's gonna fall the most. I feel like he's the one getting overhyped, and it's kind of a smokescreen, and he's gonna fall.
You don't think the Bears are taking Caleb Williams first overall?
No, JJ McCarthy, he's gonna drop.
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah, Caleb Williams is going first, and he's gonna be a bust.
But yeah, all the Michigan guys, they won the national championship, and then it was just like everyone got nuts about their value and talent when it was more than the quarterback. And I like Corum. I was the Corum guy a year ago.
Yep.
But with his size and stuff, I don't like taking him. I don't like calling him the RB1.
No.
I straight up don't even like him over Braylon Allen, and now that's like a hot take when, like, before the end of the college season, that wouldn't have been. Anyways, any other sports or?
Well, the thing with Corum, though, I mean, he did most of the running in Michigan, though. Yeah. So I feel like switching over to a team in the NFL that might, I mean, I kind of giving away my fantasy logic here a little bit, because there's going to be less running. Obviously, it's a passing league.
Yeah.
So he'll have more rest. So he might be a little bit more flashy, I feel like.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Good. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's all running back by committee now, though, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But no, as far as other sports, yeah, why don't we talk about this? We'll get you in trouble with everybody now.
Okay.
Caitlin Clark, drafted number 1 overall, right? Is she going to be the change the WNBA needs to gain any ground, to actually start making money? Because, right, the WNBA is, as everybody knows, they don't make any money, right?
Yeah.
Every team,
they lose $10 million a year.
Right. Every team almost loses money. Do you think she'll be the deciding factor going into a contract year, right? Because with the union, they're going into contract negotiations after this year. She was drafted by Seattle, I believe. All their games are sold out. Is she the turning point for the WNBA?
Yeah, potentially. I see a lot about her on social media.
Yeah,
and
she's
I don't
quick.
really get all the hype, but
I think
yeah.
The thing I like about her, even though I don't watch the WNBA, I don't really watch any of that. I don't watch the NBA, period, really. But she's quick. She had that awkward interview with the reporter, I'm sure you saw, because it was all over Twitter.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But she was quick. She didn't let it slow her down, which was cool. Just kind of see. You have a little bit of attitude out of a star. That might help a little bit, but.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, hopefully, but we'll see.
I was hoping to get you in trouble on the WNBA take.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it bugs me that people bring up the salary when it's clearly you get paid what you're worth. It's and I mean so here's what I was talking about this at work too. You got to remember too, she's in a lot of commercials.
Yep.
Like she'll probably make more money in commercial sponsorships and that kind of stuff than she will from her WNBA salary.
100%.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
So
that's
just being smart.
Right. And they play significantly less games than NBA players. So trying to compare contracts to Wemby, for example, is not super fair.
Yeah. and not every year in the NBA draft is there a Victor Wembanyama either. Like this year, you do not want to first pick this year. Like, I mean, or I guess you do, but like other years it would be much better. I'll put it that way.
So it's kind of speaking of the NBA draft a little bit, because even though we're in playoff time, and we'll talk about this more as we get closer, Bronny, who averaged like 2 points a game,
Yeah.
going into the draft, would you draft him just so you could get LeBron James and increase your ticket sales?
Yeah, sure. But I wouldn't do it with like a top 5 pick.
Top 10.
Yeah, because this NBA draft isn't that crazy. You're gonna get a lot of. You got to be ready for the drama and the hate because he shouldn't be a top 10. I mean,
Right.
he
You
was
got
arguably
LeBron
top 10 in USC. So how yeah.
And you got LeBron for a year. You're stuck with Bronny for whatever rookie contract is. What is it, like 3, 4, maybe 5, something like that?
Yeah.
Years. And you're stuck with him for those 5 years or whatever. And you would take him for 1 year of LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I wouldn't go out of my way
There.
if you like someone else and see a future, but yeah, there's just not a lot of hype with this next NBA draft. So this year, yeah, it's like we got the good NFL play. It's like people this age, they played football instead of basketball or something.
Yeah.
Because yeah.
I wouldn't take Bronny. No way in hell. I don't think it'd be worth the drama. Sure, your farewell tour with LeBron would be legendary as far as ticket sales, but you'd be fighting with him because he would want to be on the court with his son, and they would go fucking pass back and forth to each other or whatever. And if he can't score 2 points in a college, what's he gonna score in the NBA? And then you're stuck with him on your team, and you have to pay him.
Well, that's I don't totally understand too why he just doesn't go back for another year of college. But right, I saw where they're saying he declared for the draft.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
yeah,
Doesn't make sense to me.
I would go back to the G League or something versus hopping in the NBA when you're not ready.
Right.
But, yeah.
As far as sports stuff, I don't think I got to really anything else off the top of my head.
Yeah, no, that's about it. But I mean, other topics.
Yeah.
Again, we got the Bitcoin halving today or recently.
Yep.
So
how's that going to impact the crypto market? Or for those that don't even know full on what the halving is, you want to do like a quick synopsis for it?
yeah, so you got the machines that do calculations basically for Bitcoin, secure the network, blah blah blah, and a random machine out of all the ones plugged in get a reward. It was 6.25 Bitcoins. Now people will be in pools, so that'll be split up. Because that that would suck to have 1,000 machines running all day and then you don't get any rewards.
Yeah.
So again, there's like 6 or 7 big pools that'll where one of the machines will win and then everyone in the pool gets split up. So it's pretty consistent. The reward is going down now to 3. These rewards are sent out, I believe, every 10 minutes. And now it's instead of 6.25, it's 3.125. And just history would say months after the halving, Bitcoin starts to go up, the price of it, because the supply is lower, and then things get nuts. So, everyone's a crypto guru. I mean, we kind of saw that, when Bitcoin was over 70,000. You know, everyone was an expert again.
The Shiba craze and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you about Shiba a couple months before that. Yeah. You should have listened to me. Where do you see crypto in 3 months? You see it going crazy again, like it did just a little bit ago with Shiba and Bitcoin and stuff like that? I think it's less hyped, more hyped, about the same.
Yeah, or about 3 months. I think things will start to pick up again. I actually think we're gonna be going down to 50,000 for the price of Bitcoin. Yeah.
Bitcoin.
So the last halvening, we had COVID right before that fucked everything up.
Yeah.
So then you go back to the halvening before that one, 2016, and actually there was hype right before the halvening, and then afterwards it went down, and then it went nuts the end of the year, just like in 2020, end of the year it went nuts, past all-time highs, and then the following year was a really crazy year when it was 4 or 5 times the previous all-time high. In over 60,000, and now that's like nothing. So
I might need to sell my Bitcoin then before it goes below 50. Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Helium Mobile quick. When AT&T started using the network, and I sent you that on Twitter without talking about who. Like, what did you think of that?
It definitely added more of like that secure
made it seem more legit.
More legit and stuff like that. And then we started hearing a little bit more from other things, like a certain YouTube channel that we watch now, and that I watch religiously. Yeah, he's starting to hype it up, and he promotes it because it's cheap, $20 a month.
Can't beat it.
Yeah, you really can't. And they use one of the better towers. And then too is just more of like, everybody says that crypto is so crazy, you can't rely on it, everything else, and now you have AT&T towers being used. I think that's pretty reliable. It's not as volatile as everybody says. It's still volatile because it's stocks, but it's a little more secure.
Yeah. So funny story. This was like mid to late February. I went up ice fishing on Red Lake, northern Minnesota, for people watching. And inside the ice house, I got an AT&T line and a Helium Mobile line, and of course the Helium Mobile line always works better inside buildings for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Same phone, by the way. It's not, so you can't say, oh, you're using your better phone or whatever. There's something wrong with one. No, same phone. So then, like, the week after, I don't know, I had some time eating dinner and go to Reddit, and I was telling people, like, AT&T should do this because this technology actually works inside of buildings, whatever. AT&T needs this kind of help. Because literally every building I'm in, southern Minnesota, northern Minnesota, way out in the boonies, in the cities here, downtown St. Paul, inside of buildings, Helium Mobile is always better.
Yeah.
And the whole AT&T nut huggers just attacking me. Of course, next thing you know, I'm banned and gone. And it was the funniest thing in the world to me that of all the companies to start using the technology first, AT&T. And now I have a life, so I haven't, made an alt account on Reddit or anything and asked them and, rubbed it in my face, but it's something I should do. Because you would not believe how attacked I got for just asking and telling them AT&T should do this, and no, it's crap, and suck it.
So you think Helium Mobile then is here to stay?
Oh, 100%.
You think other cryptos or whatever are going to try to adopt something similar to Helium, or you think it's going to be like a corner market for them?
Yeah, and I mean, there's a couple other projects that are in the space like Helium, where you're trying to break up the monopoly of the telecoms, where anyone can send out signal, basically. Like World Mobile Network is one I like and have a lot of money in that one as well. And then there's some that are a little bit cheaper, like XNet.
Yep.
That AT&T actually started using first. And yeah, they're not as good. And I won't get into that, but Yeah, so there are some other players in the
Okay.
and I supported even someone that used to work at AT&T. Like, at least in America, the telecoms have a monopoly. That's
Yep.
always just bugged me. Other industries have a monopoly too. Some parts of the world, it's like you know how your water bill works,
Yep.
basically with the city or the government or whatever. Like, I kind of think internet and honestly even phone service should be the same thing. You want signal everywhere. It's not that crazy. The AT&T, if you get signal from AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, it's all about the same in
Yeah.
2024. Should work great everywhere, but we
Agreed.
don't do that. So
Yeah. What do you think is next as far as like crypto? Like, so they're starting in the phones. They've made games, right?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. What do you think the next like big step? You think, like cable or
Well, so
diving into internet services.
we could talk about that too. So I kind of know how these helium guys work.
Sure.
The higher ups there, they kind of hint at things. Okay, just like once upon a time, Helium Mobile was all just chat on Discord. It wasn't a real thing. I remember that back in 2021. It was all just, what if we did this and that for phone service, and now it's so cool that 3 years later it's a real thing. And now they've dropped hints at, potentially doing internet and TV.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Imagine if you could watch ESPN
Right.
and every time you watch a commercial, you got a little crypto reward.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
And then like ESPN, they would get the bigger reward, but even if you got a little bit for watching that commercial,
Right.
that would add up over time.
Make you actually want
Yeah.
to watch commercials.
And then think about if you could take the rewards you get from commercials and put it towards your TV bill.
Yeah.
So, just something to think about.
Wow. You think they'll do anything out of the box, like away from internet, cell phones, stuff like that, right? Because they're kind of going. If you want to compare it to anything, kind of like Xfinity, right?
Yeah.
You think they'll do anything kind of out of the ordinary? Wow and shock somebody. Like for example, like theme park or restaurant, like something crazy out of left field. Like you wouldn't expect a tech company to go down.
Potentially, I'd have to think about that. I mean, maybe some of the metaverse projects out there could be like the next WoW thing.
Sure.
Imagine, I guess, playing some kind of game and like you can order DoorDash on there.
Yep.
That's always been pretty cool to me. Or, imagine walking into a place and you could buy video games in there in a virtual world, and then it would actually show up at your doorstep. Not that I've ever thought about having a place like that in the metaverse or anything, but yeah, I think that could be the next really cool thing.
Yeah. This might be more of a Austrian conversation, but I remember a handful of years ago you showed me like this little metaverse plot of land.
Yeah.
Has that kind of started to uptake a little bit? Is it kind of dead?
There's still work being done,
Okay.
but right, like the value hasn't gone up or anything.
Right. Is it still kind of similar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or anytime it dips down like below $50, I always snag a plot. So I got like 10 right now.
Okay. Okay.
In Pavia or Pavia. They plan to have the most utility. So some of the metaverses are around, but they're just not a whole lot you can do. Like Sandbox is like one of the big ones.
Mm.
Even though it sounds like with that name you could do a lot, but really
Right.
it's junk. But yeah, I don't know. And so back to what I was saying in the beginning. This has like been one of the best months ever. Like, I did not think AT&T in April of 2024 was going to start using this technology.
Right.
I had some people over Thursday with AT&T, and the signal was working fine. The rewards were fucking nuts. One of my indoor one got like 21,000 mobile tokens, and that's like I'd take that for like a month. And again, they were over. I didn't even think they were on their phone that much, but I guess they were. So,
side note, Kim has AT&T.
well, it should say Wi-Fi 6 at the Wi-Fi signal. It should say like a little 6 there. That's how she would know she's on the signal.
Which she connects to that one then instead of just the regular Wi-Fi.
Yeah, have her forget the whatever your home internet is.
It's Wi-Fi 6 or whatever. Or I'll look at it.
It should automatically do it.
Okay.
Once you get off your home Wi-Fi.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Play with it. All right.
Yeah. And then have her. Well, I shouldn't say this on stream, but off stream, yeah. Do not have her purposely using data.
Got it.
I did not promote that. But believe it or not, on Thursday I seriously didn't do that. I kind of forgot, but the next day I'm like, oh my god, why did I get so much? And I was like, oh yeah, because I had some buddies over that have AT&T, and they, I guess, maybe had to download stuff, or I don't know.
Interesting.
But yeah, I mean when AT&T made that announcement, again, it's a big investment of mine. I just 6 weeks prior got attacked on the AT&T Reddit. It could not have come, at a better time, and for whatever reason, it's been a great month. So, yeah. I'm trying to think, any other topics, any other thing going on?
I was debating on it. That's why not. So this is going to be an interesting year, just in general, right? Because we have a lot of stuff going on that we like as far as sports, everything like that. You got crazy crypto stuff going on almost all the time. The biggest thing, though, and we'll see how much we actually talk about this as it keeps going through. We have the good old election this year.
Yep.
What was your thoughts when I told you that Trump was selling his own Bibles?
Oh, yeah. That was kind of weird.
For $60.
Yeah, and people were buying it. But
yep.
If that's their thing. I mean, there's people that he does like NFTs too.
Yeah.
On like Bitcoin, so it's fucking slow as hell.
Right.
But people buy whatever from him.
I just thought it was the most like out of left field thing. Like it feels like, especially when it comes to politicians, because they're all Christian, Bible thumper, whatever. The one thing that most of them don't touch is the Bible and stuff like that, and then of course he does. It's just out of left field. $60. But otherwise, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll just call it there. For anyone watching, or go and watch the VOD of the next stream we do for another little announcement. I don't know how Austin's going to take it. We'll call it for 420. Players only.